Gundam, an anime franchise that's been around for a while, and given that there are 250 games out there, I've started to wonder what type of quality they have, given that we have many other examples of anime tie-in games of questionable quality. Today I will take a look at two PlayStation 1 titles, Mobile Suit Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam version 2.0. Later, the developers of these two games will release a Blue Destiny trilogy and 0079 Rise from the Ashes, games that I would like to play in the future, but as for now, let's stop on the early attempts in Gundam games. I didn't know what to expect from the first title on the PlayStation 1. Maybe some funky controls and terrible graphics, but still a fun game. And I didn't know what awaits. Putting cheap graphics aside, I was thrown right into the battlefield to defend Site 7. Zeon grunts were swallowing me, and there was I sitting in a cockpit of a Gundam with no clue what to do. I was pushing all the buttons known to the world to try and repel the enemy. And it worked. But after succeeding here and thrown right into the space battle with Char, I realized one thing. I can do anything without reading the manual, which felt weirdly cool considering that it was what Amore did in the anime, but it also made me realize how robust and uncool piloting a Gundam really is. Anyway, let's talk about the most important thing: gameplay and controls. They are put in the cockpit of a Gundam. Here we can see all the important information. At the top of the screen we have an information about which gun we currently use out of 4 available types. We start with Vulcan gun and beam rifle. We also have access to beam saber and bazooka, though only beam saber and Vulcan gun can have unlimited ammo. And beam rifle takes time to recharge after spending all ammo. We also have a shield that can be used to defend ourselves from attacks, but enemies can destroy it. And strong force, meaning bosses, can deal a lot of damage, and we really need one to defend from them. To the left of the cockpit we can see a blue health bar. To the right there's a beam rifle and bazooka ammo indicator. And the most important part of our cockpit, radar, that shows nearby enemies. Given how fast enemies move and that the best strategy is to stand and shoot them down like gun cannon, we should focus on the radar to see where the hell enemies are now, and then smash the lock-on until it will do the job. To the right of the radar is quite an important part of the cockpit, an indicator that tells us where we are moving, forward or backward, which is colored red and blue respectively. But the terrible part of the game is aiming. It is done in a combination of a free aim and lock-on system, though lock-on is only for assisting in hunting down your enemy, but not to shoot right at him. All this should be done manually. Sometimes it's a really rage-inducing game, because lack of good old aim assists make difference. But personally, I like it this way. The game offers 3 types of zones where we will battle, though only 2 of them are distinctively different: land, space and underwater. Battles on the land are pretty much enjoyable, because they aren't that complicated in terms of enemy placement. You just run around and shoot your enemies like a turret. You can dodge enemies' projectile with jumping, but shield will do in most cases. Battles in space or underwater are complicated in terms of being more 3D. You can fly up or down, but turret tactic will do here too, though it's harder to track enemies here. There's also a progression system based on how many mobile suits have you destroyed and other scores, which make game a little bit easier this time, and the grunts that were so lively in the beginning will be taken out in 2 or 3 shots by the end of the game. As for the story, the game follows the 0079 TV series plot, and being more specific, major battles from it. First encounter with Char, fight with Black 3-star unit, Char's GOG encounter, battle with Lala, and even battle with Gian in space, which fits more into movie continuity, but it doesn't matter. And overall, nothing major, and the game can give a basic understanding of the plot from the original TV series. And overall, it's a short game, consisting only of 11 stages. Although short, it's quite a challenging ride, and certainly it's not the best of the best games out there. But still, it's quite an interesting piece of history of Gundam, although I don't think that this is a must-play game. Honestly, I think that this game shouldn't be touched at all, if you're not into kusoge, but that's all about it.
各機固まると車線確認しろ。メカニックマン待機。射出1分前。
発進です。進路クリア。敵はホワイトベースの後方 R3 度から接近。ザクは2機です。
了解。ハンガーロック解除。
ガンダム前進カタパルトへ。カタパルト接続終了。
アムロガンダム行きます。
The enhanced edition is a bit nicer overall, while the base aspects from the first game apply there too. Visually it looks as a better game. The UI was a bit overhauled, which is a matter of preference, and while it looks cleaner, I liked the first one better. Though the gameplay part has been overhauled for the best. The first positive aspect we can see is an enemy variety. Now we are not fighting dumb grunts, but also jets and tanks, which is a nice addition and makes gameplay a little bit more interesting. The second great addition, the game now is free from progression system, meaning that RX-78 is a devil that can destroy most of the units from one clean hit. The II partners are also way better than they were in the original. At least I think I've seen a few of them in the original, but there I haven't seen any impact from them. Presentation of the game has also changed for the better. Now environment isn't a wasteland, but actually has quite nice details that make the battlefield engaging. Also, FMVs aren't the only cool thing anymore, and developers discovered that they can not only use in the game and cutscenes, but also cuts from anime to convey story points. As for the story itself, it follows the same formula with major battles and expands almost all previously seen battles, adding some details or changing the content to fit the TV series. For example, Gian is fought at the colony here, and eventually it gives a better understanding of the original Gundam plotline, but still can't replace the TV series or movie trilogy. And overall, version 2.0 is literally a version 2.0 of the first game, making it a good addition to the first one. And if they had recreated the first game with all the new features of the second, it would have been the definitive play way to play these PS1 titles, but sadly it's not exactly the same product. Though I can say that I miss a few cut missions that much, and maybe aside from the final battle with Zion, which was quite good. Okay. I think Gundam version 2.0 is a definitive way to play both of these titles. Yeah. And that's all for today.